Hey, this is Reid from Last Boy Scouts. So today we're going to do an EDC gear breakdown. So I want to start with everyday carry gear. What do you carry on your person? Also, we're going to talk a little bit about, say you're out on a hike, you're out adventuring around, what do you carry there? And then also what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about maybe a get home bag or an emergency bag that you keep in your vehicle. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. So, first thing we want to talk about is what do you carry on your person as far as everyday carry gear. So I'm going to give you some examples of what I carry on my person on an everyday basis. First thing I carry on me, this is my number one choice, is a pocket knife. And the type of pocket knife that I carry, it has a frame lock to it. I find that this is what works best for me. Again, you're going to have to find what works best for you, but for me, this is what works best, and I like the safety features on that. Because I'm a little particular about keeping my knife always sharp, I also carry a small pocket sharpener. Now this can be, obviously it's used to sharpen your knife, but you can use this also to strike matches against, and could have several different uses in different types of situations. But for the most part, all this is your pocket sharpener. To that extent, also I added some 550 cord as far as a little fob on the end of it. Makes it easier for me to get out of my pocket, but also I have a little extra 550 cord which comes in handy and can be useful for several different situations. And to speak of 550 cord, this here is 25 feet of survivor cord. Now, in our previous fire building video, I described the 550 or the survivor cord. Survivor cord has a tensile strength of 660 pounds. Now, within this cord, you also have wax jute, you have a copper line that can be used for snares or trapping, and then there's also monofilament line, which can be used for fishing. So I always keep about 25 feet of that in my pocket. And last but not least, in my pockets, I always carry a lighter. This one here is in an Exotac waterproof case. I've put a lanyard on it with 550. Again, extra 550 cord, can never go wrong with a little extra cordage if you need it. Now also what I carry on a regular basis, because I'm an off-duty peace officer, I carry my off-duty weapon. Now check your local areas and regulations, laws about carrying concealed. But for me, I carry a 9mm XD9, and this is what I carry on my person because this is what I'm most comfortable with. This is what I train with most often. On most occasions, if I'm able to, I also carry my Leatherman Wave. Okay, the Leatherman Wave has multiple different tools. You have a lot of different uses for that. Knife, saw. There's also, you have a let's take a look here at our different tools that we have on the Leatherman. So we have a serrated edge blade, right, with a gut hook on it. Can be used for fishing, hunting. We have our saw blade. Saw blade works excellent in different situations. Obviously, you're going to use that to be cutting. Our knife blade. No explanation there. And then, last but not least, let's see if we can find it, our file, right? We have a coarse side, this is the fine side, and then along the edge you have a file here. Now that's all our tools on the outside of our Leatherman. On the inside, several different items as far as you have a small screwdriver, can opener, another screwdriver, a pair of scissors. So multiple uses for that Leatherman. Within that Leatherman case, I also, for the most part, always carry, again with the 550 cord. As you can see, I have some favorite items. I also carry a ferrocerium rod with the striker attached. Okay. Am I going to be carrying this around town when I'm out shopping? No. But if I'm out and about, say out in the woods or just out scouting different areas for different bushcraft videos that we're going to be making down the road here, this is obviously something I'm going to carry with me. So that's what we have as far as your everyday carry and what's in your pockets. A little bit of a breakdown there. And so in the next segment, we're going to move on to what do you carry in a bag when you're out adventuring around the woods. So let's talk about what we're going to carry, say, if we're out scouting an area or we're just out for a friendly walk in the woods one day. So for me, what I like to carry in breaking this gear down, I carry a haversack. Now, this particular haversack is made by Self-Reliance Outfitters. You can go over to their website. They have a lot of excellent gear, and check them out. So let's take a look what I carry in my haversack. So let's break down a few items. This is a Bushcraft drop pouch. So if you're going to be building a fire or you're going to be setting up camp somewhere, good thing to collect your tinder sources in and be able to keep those items dry. It is a waxed canvas, so it will keep those items dry inside. Once again, because I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to keeping a lot of cordage. I have a lot of cordage here. I keep the dried jute cord here. I also have this is again the Survivor cord, the 660 pounds of tensile strength that has all the different items inside. I also keep about 50 feet of number 36 bank line, extremely durable line, can be used for multiple things. And this is just some basic cordage that I found laying around the house, and it seems to work. It's a nylon cordage and can have multiple uses, tying up tarps, tying different items together, but it seems to work very well. Now I'm going to break this all the way down, but this is my fire starting kit. Now inside this fire starting kit, I have some fat wood shavings. I also have more waxed jute cord. Outside here, one of the items you can use to start a fire, a Forenzo lens. You can buy these in a 5-pack. Find them on Amazon.com. Great for utilizing sunshine to start your fire. And attached to the outside here, well, we're just going to let that fly. Maybe my assistant can help me out, but we'll get back to that in a second. Well, we'll find a home for it soon enough. There we go. This is a pocket bellows. Folks, if we couldn't have fun, why would we be doing these videos in the first place? A pocket bellows. When you're making your fire, you have your bird's nest, you have your fire going. You can utilize the pocket bellows in order to inject that oxygen in there. It's basically just a long metal straw and to get that oxygen into your fire and get it going. Hey, we're not all about being serious here at Last Boy Scouts. We have our funny moments, and I'm sure at some point, somewhere down the line, we're going to have a blooper reel too. So, if we're out, we find ourselves in a situation where we need to collect water. One of the ways you can collect water, I have it all bundled up here under one of these Ranger bands. This is the Sawyer Mini water filtration system, okay, with the straw attachment and a collection bag. You can do about 10,000 gallons of water with this small little filtration system. So well worth the investment. You can find them in most local sporting goods stores. Online, they run about $20. It's definitely worth the investment to be able to have a safe water source. Because I'm a fat boy, I like to eat. I always carry a wooden spoon on me because I like to eat. Also inside my bag, in case I'm caught in a situation where I need cover, This is a poncho, right? That can be you can put over your body, of course, if it's raining, if it's cold, trap that body heat in. But it's also, you can use this as an emergency shelter. Okay, within this, I also have some tent stakes made by MSR. They're aluminum stakes, extremely lightweight. They don't take up a lot of room, and you can put them right into the bag with that poncho. Now, here's one of your multi-purpose use items. All right, we have a chamois, the cotton chamois. So multiple uses for this item. Most of you saw on the preview on our Facebook page, I talked about this. The chamois can be used for multiple things. Summertime, if it's hot outside, you wet this around your neck, around your head. Helps to keep that core body temperature cool so you don't overheat. If you have dust storms, wind storms, you can put it around your face also to use it as a filter, right? In some measures, you can actually use the small little ends here, right, as your fire tinder. This cotton will burn. So can be used as a sling. It can be used as a tourniquet if need be. So multiple uses for your cotton chamois. And then, because we want to be able to drink water, I also carry with me this is a single-walled stainless steel container in a cup. All right, obviously I've used this cup on several occasions to heat water in. You want a single-walled container. Do not get the insulated type containers double-walled, because here's the thing. You heat those up with water inside, they will explode. All right, and then, well, it can cause injury, and then you're not also going to have a container that you can store your water in. So you want that single-walled stainless steel container. It nests right there in the cup nicely. I also carry 20 feet of the tubular nylon, and with a little bit of extra duct tape there to keep it all together. Multiple uses for this. Mainly, one of the main things you can utilize for this is as a webbing. If you need to build, say, a seat somewhere, or in some cases you can utilize it. You can utilize this if you have multiple people and you have somebody injured. You can utilize this to make a polus litter, or in some configurations you can make it like a sling. Put somebody on your back, almost like a backpack, and carry them out if they're injured. It's not going to be comfortable for you or them, but you know what? I'd rather be uncomfortable and alive than comfortable and dead. And that's just the lid that goes with my cup. Now, in the lid, I'm going to have my regular sharpener with me, but what I also carry are these homemade stropping paddles for sharpening a knife or sharpening a blade. We did these, gave these away in a couple of our different challenges. So if you're interested, hit us up. Probably going to be making some more of these down the road. And then I also carry with me fat wood. If I'm unable to find it in the little area I'm in, I have it with me, and I'm able to utilize this to help start fires. It's also in my fire starting kit, but this is just a little bit of extra that I carry with me because in the tactical world, there's an old saying that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I'd rather have redundancy and carry things that can be used for multiple different things, even if it's the same item. So that's what I carry when I'm out adventuring around in the woods or out exploring. What do you carry? That's our breakdown for that. And in our next segment, what we're going to do is we're going to break down what you might carry in a get-home bag or an emergency bag in your vehicle. So in this segment, what we're going to talk about is our, let's not call it an EDC bag, let's call it a get-home bag, all right? Or an emergency bag, for that matter. What do you carry in your vehicle? So for me, I have a few different items that I like to keep in my bag, and I've got a couple of different bags I like to share here. So let's start with our front pouch. Our front pouch, because we've discussed in the past that Reid likes to start fires. I use a pull start fire mechanism. Basically, it's a small road flare inside here. It makes it very easy to start a fire. I also carry more fat wood. We use the glow sticks. Now, if you're in a situation where you may be needing rescue, you can utilize these to signal for that rescue. And because I'm a good American, and I say that with tongue-in-cheek, I also carry a copy of the Constitution with me because I want to know if what I'm doing is legal. Also, gives you some reading material if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to be out there for a little while waiting for rescue or actively pursuing rescue. Gives you something to keep your mind maybe off of your situation. But also, hey, we have fire starter in here if we need it. But it's the Constitution, so let's not set the Constitution on fire. So in our main pouch, what we're carrying, well, we've said this before, Reid's a fat boy, he likes to eat, so lots of lickies and chewies. So carry some Cliff blocks, the energy blocks, a protein bar, some little honeycomb energy blocks, another protein bar. And this is an item I just found not too long ago. It is made by UST, and they are emergency food ration bars. And this is apple cinnamon in particular. So, hope I never have to use them, but I do have some food rations if need be. 2,400 calories per bar. That's going to get you through in that emergency situation. I've got several different items in here. I've just added a few things. I always carry some matches made by Yuko. I find that their all-weather matches, their waterproof matches work really, really well. I like to carry these on board. Some small little gauze pads we're going to go through. We have plenty of medical type dressings here. And because in that situation, if we need to be able to collect water, right? Again, single-walled container. Single-walled stainless steel container that we can put that water in. We can boil it, disinfect it if need be. And if we want to store that water, Nalgene bottle wrapped with a little bit of 550 cord, right? Utilize the space that you have. Now, I'm not quite sure why I put this in here, but it is some clear tubing. Could have multiple uses for that, so I used it as one of those kind of wild card items. Now, here is something that wouldn't be recommended, but it's a Bear Grylls survival kit. But it did come with a few interesting items that I thought that might be useful. It also has the weatherproof matches in here, right? The waterproof, some snare wire, a little emery board, some cordage. But I like this item right here. This is especially if there's a rescue situation. You have a whistle in here, a rescue whistle. So I've had that for several years, and it's just one of those things I threw in there. I thought, what the heck? You know, let's throw it in there. Might have some useful items inside there. So now I have a lot of stuff laid out here on the table. One of the things that we have that I carry a lot of, some of these surgical dressings. If you have something more than an owie or a boo-boo, something like this can be utilized to stop that bleeding or control bleeding. And I have several of the surgical dressings in here, and along with your basic band-aids for your scrapes, owies, boo-boos. Also, now it's not in my bag, but I carry it in my vehicle. I also carry a small med kit. The med kit also, let's look inside here. again, once again, lots of that bandaging and the gauze, right? We have lots of that gauze. Now, this is something that can be utilized. I use 3 different types here. I have 3 different types. And I'll go over this one in just a second, because this item, well, it's not its intended purpose. Also in here I keep lots of Band-Aids, some surgical or some gloves, the gloves. So what I also carry, I carry a cat tourniquet. Keep this in the door of my vehicle if need be. If that doesn't fit the situation, and I know they don't always work that well, I also carry a RATS tourniquet, which is a rapid application tourniquet. Had a few different people, prior military medics and corpsmen, have said this is a good item that can be used in order to control that bleeding. Now, back to this. What this is actually is a strength band, right? People work out with these rubberized strength bands, but what this can be utilized as, we can use this as a tourniquet, right? You can wrap this. There is a specific brand called I believe it's the Stretch, Wrap, and Tuck, the tourniquet that you can utilize. Those are about $20 a piece. This, $3. It's the exact same material. It just doesn't have all the writing on it. Again, trying to save some money when I did it, but it's the exact same item. Can be utilized as a tourniquet if need be. So we'll fold that back up. Again, not its intended purpose, but if it's an emergency situation, use what you got. Everything folded back up here. I do have one other bag. It's still a bag in the works. It's kind of an all-purpose, all-everything bag. Got a lot of stuff laid out here. Let me get some of this put away. We'll straighten up this bag in a little bit. So this is kind of my low-profile bag. This one's actually made by Burton Snowboards. It's not a tactical bag, but can be used in that type of manner because it's got lots of good pockets in it. So what I don't have in my other bags, a little vial of Tylenol, right, for your little headache or your aches and pains. And as I'm getting older, I have a lot of aches and pains. Again, some more 550 cordage. In the side here, I carry a Pelican waterproof case. You can put a number of different items in here that you want to keep dry, you want to keep them from being damaged. Good item to have on board with you when you're out and about. Let's check all the pockets. Nothing in there. Let's go to our top pocket here. So top pocket, well, I have a pillow in there. That is an inflatable pillow. Comfort means a lot when you're out. So, hey, if you're going to be laying up somewhere, you have a pillow you can utilize. Again, more fat wood. I also have a ferrocerium rod with a striker. All right. In this box here, this is my little fire box that I have. Much like the first one, homemade itself. This is made out of an Altoids tin. In this one, I also have char cloth. At some later date, we will do a video on how to do char cloth. It takes a spark very well in order to get a fire started. So we'll show how we make that char cloth, and I'm going to use this when we do that. But that's packed. It has char cloth, has a little bit of fat wood, some jute cord, different items that we can utilize to get a fire started. I also have life straw for water filtration, right? Where we have our water containers here, well, we want to be able to fill those. But if you can't fill them and you're on the go, you're moving through say a non-permissive environment, you can utilize the life straw in order to hydrate. Hydration is extremely important in any kind of survival or situation where you're trying to get home. Our main compartment here, again, this bag is still in the works, so there's a few different items that I don't carry in the other bags. This is more of a, if we're going to be out for a longer period of time. This is made by Sterno. This is a little a little heat source that can be plugged into a Sterno can for fuel in order to boil that water if we don't have a fire going and we need to be in more of a kind of a low profile, discreet. We can utilize that to boil our water. Within that, I also have the solid fuel for different, if I can start fire underneath it. Extra set of batteries for what I don't know. And a little metal cup, right? Cook in that, boil your water in there. Now, within this bag, we have a number of different items, right? This is a dry bag, along kind of with the dry box over here. We can keep a lot of our items dry. I have extra socks in there, some thermals, but one of the most important things, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, I have a notebook, some pens, and most importantly, I have a compass in there. So if I'm in a situation where I don't have GPS, I don't have that technology on hand, I have basic technology right here, and in order to be able to navigate out of the area I'm in. And we'll talk a little bit more about navigation here in just a little bit. Frog Togs. This is my waterproof jacket. Just shove it down in there. It's good for warmth. It traps that body heat in because it's a waterproof item, and it keeps you nice and dry. Now I'm not going to reach down to the bottom of the bag and grab the last item out of here, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Let's see if we can see it down in there. I have a wool blanket. Wool blanket, obviously you can use that as cover. You can use that for warmth. Just one of those comfort items to have in a survival situation. So we're going to put all this stuff away. You have several different items you can utilize. We've gone through all that. These are items that these are bags that you can carry in your vehicle with you. But one of the things that we haven't discussed is what's an alternate way to carry these items if you have limited space in your vehicle. Well, let's talk about your average everyday ammunition can, right? Say you don't want that bag floating around there, but you do have space for a small ammunition can. What can you carry in that ammo can? Well, you can put several of these items inside this ammo can. It's watertight, it's water resistant, and it keeps those items safe. Now, just as an example, I've thrown a few items down inside of here. We got some duct tape, right? Multiple uses for duct tape. You can do just about anything with that. I don't show most bags, but I always carry a pair of leather gloves, right? Leather gloves are good for, you know, keeping your hands soft and supple for those who don't like to get their hands dirty. And then in here I have about 100 feet of survivor cord. Again with the survivor cord, right? Love this stuff. So just an example of what you can do with a basic ammunition can. You can find these things in a lot of different locations. Some of your Army surplus stores. I've also found them at Harbor Freight. And along with this one, I think I bought as a 2-pack at Costco. So it has multiple uses for storage in your car. You can put some of those food items in there, those long storable food items, some of your survival items. You should be able to find some room somewhere in your car, in a truck, behind a seat. Hey, good item to have on board. So that's where our little EDC or emergency equipment breakdown. From what I understand, there's going to be a lightning round of questions. So sit back, relax. We're going to finish this up with the lightning round with Scotty from Last Boy Scouts. So we'll see you in just a moment.